blind leading the blind. Do not go out and spend any amount of money. We realized, okay, it's not that much more money than the other ones, and it has so many more options. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Caitlin. You can call me Kate. I have a son who is 2, and I'm due with my second baby at the end of January, and I love being a mom. Being a mom is like my purpose in this life. My kids mean everything to me, and I love sharing about motherhood. I have been sharing online about my experience as a mom for almost like 3 years now. And one of the things that I think is like coolest about sharing online, especially with motherhood, is that I have been able to learn so much from other moms, and I've been able to pass on that info and my own experiences to all these other moms that I'm connecting with online. And when I'm telling you we're all just trying to figure out, we're all trying to do our best, that's exactly what's happening. And sometimes it's like the blind leading the blind. So what I'm gonna do today is make building your baby registry just a little bit easier, and I'm gonna give you my top 10 must-have baby items. I've got my little handy dandy list, and my credentials for you are that I am an expert. Just kidding. But I did research so many baby products with my first. I bought so many things that I didn't end up using, ended up returning things, went down so many rabbit holes, and I want to try to save some of you guys from doing the same thing, so I hope that this is helpful. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below. And I'll put all the products that I mentioned in this video down in the description in case you are shopping. Let's get into it. So first thing on my list is a recliner. I didn't have a recliner with my first, and when I tell you that was one of our biggest regrets, we were sad, okay? We got just like a standard rocking chair off of Amazon, and I got like a little ottoman for us to rest our feet on. And it worked until my son was about 4 to 6 months old. He got a little bit bigger, he got a little bit squirmier, and we were really uncomfortable a lot of the time. Not only that, in the beginning, when they're really little, they're up a lot at night, you're up with them a lot at night. Having somewhere comfortable to sit, to lie back is just unmatched. I wish that I had a recliner. And my son breastfed for almost 21 months, and still now at 2.5, he loves to be rocked to sleep, and we find ourselves sitting in like the most awkward position trying to like hold him, when I'm like, I wish this chair could just like lean back. Like I wish I could recline so badly. So this was a must-have item for us this time around. I did not put this on my baby registry. We just ended up buying this ourselves. But we got the Stortcraft Timeless Glider. We already love it so much. We're constantly just like sitting in here lounging in it. But I highly recommend finding a glider that fits your budget and has the things that you specifically want, because I consider them a must-have item. Second thing on this list is a Kikaroo changing pad. I know there are some people who will argue that you don't need a changing pad and a changing table because you'll change your baby wherever throughout the house. And while that is true, I changed my son, especially in the first year, in his room so much more than any other place. And that was because I had everything organized. I had it right where I needed it. I didn't need to jump all over trying to find the things that I needed. So I really liked having a changing table and a changing pad. And the reason I specifically like this Kikaroo one, and I consider it a must-have, is because it is silicone. With other changing pads, they're actually padded, so they're cloth, and you'll likely need some type of liner to go on top, because when your baby has accidents when you're changing them, or if they spit up on the changing table, you're gonna need to wash that stuff. With the Kikaroo, you don't need to throw anything in the washer or wait for all of that to happen. It's silicone, so you literally can just spray it down with a disinfectant, wipe it down, let it dry. It's good to go for the next time. Like I said, you don't need a liner. I know some people put a liner down because they think their babies may be cold on the silicone pad. I have never used a liner, and I have no issues with it. And it's one of those items that we're gonna pass down to baby number 2. So I think that this is something to consider if you maybe wanna have more children down the line. It's one of those items you can definitely pass on and use again. Number 3 might seem silly, but I'm telling you, it is a must-have. A baby bath thermometer. For the first like month of my son's life, I could not figure out why he hated the bath so badly. I was like, maybe it's too cold, but I really doubt it. Maybe it's too hot. Like, I'm terrified to burn him. And I can't remember the exact temperature that like a baby bath should be. I will look it up and put it here on the screen for you. But when I tell you, that is not what the baths were at in my house. I don't remember the exact number, but when I got the thermometer in, I was mortified because I was pretty much freezing my baby. And that was like a punch in the stomach of mom guilt when that happened, when I ordered that bath thermometer and I realized that that's why he hated the bath this whole time. And bath time was starting to become like a big stressor for me as a first-time mom. So I was like, okay, I could have avoided all of this if I just got a simple little baby bath thermometer. So I consider this a must-have item. I put another one on our registry for baby number 2 because I don't know what happened to the first one. But we have it in. I can't wait to use it. I swear by it. Even as a second-time mom, I'm like, yeah, I can put my hand in it. It feels good to me. But why not just have the reassurance of a little thermometer? Number 4 is a baby bouncer. I feel like your baby is either team swing or they're team bouncer. They might be both, but a lot of babies aren't. And I didn't know this as a first-time mom, and I put both a bouncer and a swing on my registry. I ended up getting gifted the bouncer and not a swing, and I went out and bought a swing. And my son said, joke's on you, because he absolutely hated the swing, and I returned it pretty much the next day. He loved this bouncer though. We got this Baby Delight one off of Amazon, and I feel like it's pretty affordable as far as like bigger baby items go. It's nice and neutral, it's easy to clean, this cover slips right off and you can throw it in the washer. And my son was obsessed with it. Like, he sat in that so often. Anytime we just wanted a little break, he maybe wanted to be held and bounce like with us, but our arms hurt or something, whatever the reason, you put him in your little bouncer in front of you and we could just tap it with our foot, and he was absolutely giddy. So I consider this a must-have item. I've already pulled it out, washed the cover, have it ready for baby number 2. Number 5, bamboo pajamas. Okay, as a first-time mom, I did not buy into the bamboo pajama hype until my son was like a year old. I was like, why would I spend $30 on pajamas that are gonna last for like 0 to 3 months or 3 to 6 months? That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, he got bamboo pajamas, like I said, around the time he turned 1. Those pajamas are just now starting to not fit him at 2 years old. So while they might be a little bit pricier, they are so soft, like butter. They hold up really well over time, and they're the only pajamas that my son can stay in for longer than like a couple of months at a time. And if you've bought clothes at Walmart or Target or Amazon, just like cotton or polyester, you know that they usually don't even last quite as long as that like age gap, because after you wash them and dry them a certain amount of times, they've shrunk, they don't feel the same, the quality is gone. And don't get me wrong, I still buy clothes at all of those places, but I think investing in some bamboo pajamas, and that being what a lot of the things you put on your registry are, or what you get for baby, is huge, and I consider them a must-have. I have definitely taken this approach for baby number 2, and I have also gotten baby number 2 a lot more just like pajamas than like outfits, because they're babies. But like I said, definitely a must-have, definitely will get your money's worth. Number 6 is the Free to Mom Snot Sucker. Not the electric snot sucker. Do not go out and spend any amount of money on an electric snot sucker, because they don't work. We got the manual Free to Snot Sucker after all of our friends who already had babies basically told us this. And I had to buy more than one because eventually the hose started to get kind of loose. It wasn't really like sucking like it did, but it always worked really well. So I would just replace it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll get the electric one and try it. Again, me wanting to try every single thing that exists. I tried it. It doesn't work. It does not work like the manual one. And the manual one, I think, is like $15. So if you have to replace it once every 6 months, it's not the end of the world. And before anyone gets grossed out, it has a filter inside. You change the filter, so it's not like I just went 6 months with this thing being disgusting. We cleaned it every time we use it, and we changed the filter. But I'm telling you, this is a must-have baby registry item. Babies are gonna get snotty noses, they're gonna get colds, they're gonna get boogers, even if they're not sick at all. So put this on your registry and thank me later. Number 7 is a Newton crib mattress. There are tons of baby mattresses on the market, and while you can find the ones that are marked for safe sleep, Newton gave me so much peace of mind, especially as a first-time mom. Really just as a postpartum mom, let me say that. Because I already know that with this baby, I'm gonna be the exact same way. But I had so much peace of mind knowing that my baby had a mattress to lay on that was essentially breathe through. If you look at a Newton mattress, it literally looks like a piece of coral or a sponge. Like, it has so many holes throughout. It's the right firmness that your baby needs. And so much can happen when babies sleep, and there's a lot of sleep risk. So why not just minimize that? Give yourself peace of mind, go with this mattress. And I think there are different options. I know that the one we have is one side is meant for a newborn, one side is meant for a toddler, and we have the one that has like a waterproof topping over it. But I'm telling you, this mattress is a lifesaver. Also, when your baby does have accidents in the night and you need to kind of strip the bed of everything and throw it in the washer, the Newton is really nice because you can actually just put that in your shower or your tub, hose it down, and the water will run right through it. If you have a waterproof cover on it, you probably won't need to do that, but if you get the one without, it's really easy to clean. All around, great baby item. Highly, highly recommend putting it on your registry. Number 8 is a Hatch sleep machine. I will admit, I thought I was above the Hatch sleep machine. I thought I was gonna outsmart the Hatch, and the Hatch outsmarted me. I think the first thing that we got was the Travel Free to Mom sleep machine. My son was not really a big fan of that, and then we actually tried to do some sleep training that was unsuccessful for us. But that program that that we followed told us to get this other brand of sound machine. We tried that, weren't really fond of that either. Nothing really helped a ton until we got the Hatch. And once we got it, we realized, okay, it's not that much more money than the other ones, and it has so many more options. Like, I think right now on my son's, we have like 6 different modes. You can have different sounds, you can have different lights, you can turn the brightness up or down. There are so many options with the Hatch. I absolutely love it so much. It is definitely a must-have. We already got this for baby number 2, and I actually ended up getting the travel Hatch for baby number 2 as well, because I just know they're gonna be asleep on the go, baby. That's how it is when you're the second, and the Hatch is a must-have. Number 9 is gonna be a baby carrier. And while I won't tell you the exact brand that you should get, I'll tell you what we have and what we like. Baby wearing will make your life 5,000 times easier. I feel like I was a little intimidated by this as a first-time mom, but once I got my son in the Solly wrap for the first time and I was able to like cook dinner hands-free, vacuum my house hands-free, and my baby was comfortable and comforted, I then realized why everybody was baby wearing. I think especially if you're gonna have multiple children, or you're having your second or your third, babies want to be held. It is what it is. I feel like having a baby carrier will really help with that, because they're soothed, they're happy, they're taken care of, they're with mom, and you still have your hands to do other things. I mentioned the Solly wrap. We absolutely love that with my son. It is a manual wrap, but the quality of it is so great. The fabric's really breathable. It's not super heavy. I did try one off of Amazon because, again, I thought that I'd try the cheaper version first, and it felt like a tarp. It was so hot and uncomfortable. It really almost turned me away from baby wearing until I tried the Solly wrap and I fell in love. I do also really like to have a structured carrier on hand. With my son, we used the Baby Bjorn carrier, and it was okay. I never really felt like he was in it the right way, and I feel like more information has come out about that carrier where a lot of experts are suggesting the same thing, and they're saying that like the baby isn't quite in the correct positioning. So I have done some new research. I ordered a maybe baby carrier this time around. Obviously haven't used it yet, but I have heard amazing things. I got it in, the quality of it feels so nice, and I cannot wait to try it. But overall, doing some research on how you want to wear your baby, how long you want to wear your baby is huge, and finding one that fits your budget, but a baby carrier is a must. And number 10 for my must-have baby items is a height-appropriate changing table. That might sound kind of silly, but with my son, I thrifted a dresser because I thought, as long as I have a nice dresser that I can hold all of his stuff in, I can put my changing table topper on there, we're gonna be good to go. It felt a little bit high, but it wasn't a big deal. I was like, I'll make it work, it'll be totally fine. And this is, again, one of those things that you don't realize until your baby gets to be a little bit bigger, a little bit squirmier, a little bit harder to lift on top of that table. Once he got to be about 4 to 6 months old, it was starting to really hurt my back to have him up there and to change him that way, because the table was just way too high. Not only was I physically uncomfortable, but it just started to make me like mentally uncomfortable with him being up there, because I just felt like I was in pain. I couldn't respond as quickly as I needed to if I had to. So for baby number 2, we decided that we were gonna buy a changing table dresser that was like actually meant to have a changing table on top. We opted for this one from Da Vinci Baby. I really like it because it's just a nice wood, very basic. It has a good amount of storage. It is meant to be a changing table. They have an option where you can like add on a changing table topper. I do still recommend the Kikuru, like I mentioned earlier, but getting a dresser that's an appropriate height to be a changing table, I think, is huge. And I love thrifting items. I think that's so fun. Like I said, we thrifted my son's dresser for that, and it's now still his dresser. Like, I never got rid of it because I still like that piece of furniture and I wanted to use it. But I feel like thrifting baby items is becoming so popular, and that's not something that we necessarily think about when you're thrifting like the changing table dresser, that the height is really important. So if you are gonna do something like that, make sure you're really testing it and try to find something that's like around the same height as a changing table dresser. And that concludes the top 10 baby must-haves. These are all items that I absolutely swear by. We use day in and day out with my son, and I'm gonna use them with baby number 2. Highly recommend putting some of these on your registry, sharing them with friends and family. Let me know what you think if you tried any of these also. And I hope you guys liked this video. Let me know if you wanna see more like this in the next one. Bye.